Welcome to my super flat hardcore survival world. This world has been live for 1,239 Minecraft days. And as you can see, we've been kind of busy. We've managed to build ourselves a glorious mountain that actually seems to be, I don't know, pretty good. But as you can see, this is still definitely a work in progress. I want to be able to take it out to at least this distance here where this block is. That way we've got a much bigger view and it all looks beautiful. Every single block you see here has been placed by hand. And I've got to admit, it hasn't been the greatest task in the world. So moving on. We have a spruce biome, which is leading into our nether portal, which takes us to the nether. The nether is completely normal and just looks like any other normal Minecraft world. We've even added in our own lava pools, a few lakes here and there. We do still need to go through and remove all of our torches, as they look, let's be honest, pretty goddamn terrible. They don't look great. This is not good. Leading over to our dark oak biome, we've managed to put in a little bridge. And I've got to admit, this is probably one of my more favorite builds that I have on this world, because I think the detailing and the leveling just looks pretty darn good. Oh yeah, and if you want to build this, I've got a tutorial in my channel, obviously. Throughout the entire build, water is kind of the main feature, just to add in some detailing, and it also adds like more of a flow to the world. Within the dark oak biome, we also have my house, which, let's be honest, doesn't look like much, but it's not supposed to. This is supposed to be just like a little log cabin in the middle of a wood, and inside it's pretty much bare, and underneath this little trapdoor, what we actually have is my storage room. And in my storage room, we have literally everything we could need. We've got some stone, cobblestone, gravel, you know, everything. Basically, we've got all our woods on this side, and at the back, we have our sort of more specialist blocks, such as like obsidian, basalt, blackstone, you know, all of the stuff, leaves, all the beautiful stuff, a little bit of sand. We do need to go and grab some more sand because we've basically ran out. And the way we get sand is actually kind of easy. All we do is grab our spare shulker boxes and head on over to our end portal, where you notice that our stronghold is actually flying. And the way that we get the sand from this is basically we use a sand duper that has been made by Shulker Craft. These guys are bloody awesome. They know everything. And the way it works, we hit a lever like so, and you notice that the sand does this weird kind of pushy-pulley thingamajig. I don't know how this works. It's like magic, right? But eventually we turn it off because, you know, you got to. And if we pop on through, you'll notice that we then get loads of sand appear like this. Basically, we are sand duping all the way through, and there it is. Boom, a lovely bit of sand. It's actually pretty darn good. We also have an Enderman Farm, and this is going to be converted one day into a UFO. I just basically haven't got around to it, okay? Leave me alone. It is at build lowest level. Build unheight. I don't know what the wording is, okay? Leave me alone. We've also been trying to get all the dragons, just so we can get all these beautiful little portals to line up all the way around. We do have some work still to go. I've often been asked, RipMonts, how do you get so much obsidian? I mine down these pillars, and then they respawn, and I cry. That's what happens. And with us now back in our main world, we also have our tree farm. This is a recent addition, which is basically bloody awesome. I'm actually pretty amazed with how this turned out. I could probably do with a little bit more diorite just right there, just to kind of make this look less, I don't know, plain. Inside is the actual farm, and all I've got to do, grab myself a sapling, I turn on the farm with this lever, I place a sapling, tree grows, boom, and it moves it all along. Beautiful. The only thing I then need to do afterwards is grab myself my trusty little axe and mine down all of the wood I want. And then we have all the glorious amount of woods we could ever need. Obviously, this farm only works for birch and for oak, okay? Over on this part, we have our farming district. This is where all of our farmers are going to go. All of the villagers will be located in certain places. Inside the mountain, we're going to make a dwarven kingdom, and in there will be all of our masons and sort of anyone who does anything to do with tools, forgery, any of that stuff. They're all going to be in there and have their own places to live. And it looks like some Endermen have arrived to balls up my world. How very dare they? My farmers are going to live over here. We've got our beehives in here. Look at it. Lovely. Bee farm. Never used any honey, but we have one just in case you ever need it. We can just come in, bosh, grab it, and we're out again. A beautiful looking hut. Our cow farm, which lives right here. Again, we never use cow farm. We don't need it, okay? We don't need this. And our most recent addition to this area is actually our iron farm. The only reason this even exists is because I ran out of iron, and also the fact that it is a slime chunk, and I thought, why not just dump this bad boy here? Is it productive? Yeah. This is my own personal opinion, and if I'm honest, I think that iron farms are a little bit too OP. Like, you kind of run them for 3 days, and you've got all the iron you need. Like, I ran one once at the start of this world, and then I've not needed it ever since, basically. It's taking me like 1,000 days to run out of iron. I'm already at a silly amount just from existing. Our current project is basically our new ocean biome. As you can see, we've mined out quite a bit of an area. I want it to come all the way out to this line over here, and then we're going to really customize all of this. We're going to have some ships maybe in here. We're going to have a monument over here. Obviously, we can't get prismarine because this is a super flat world, so we'll probably have to use a little bit of warped wood. Might even use crimson just to add in a little bit of flair. But obviously, we still need to stylize the entire floor to look a bit like this. Otherwise, you know, it just looks like this and it looks goddamn terrible. We don't like it. Heading back into the Nether, but this time to the Nether roof, what we actually have is our gold farm. This gold farm, I've got to admit, has taken me at least 2 weeks to make. I've been tinkering with it. I've done my best not to watch tutorials because I don't like watching tutorials. I think that they kind of ruin the experience of the game. And within our gold farm, we also have our piglins. These piglins farms work all the way around. And as you can see, we've got 3 layers of beautifulness. They then fall down into these chambers. And as they come to the bottom, it all falls into a load of item sorters. The gold then gets sent through to these guys. And these guys absolutely bloody love it. And they give me more, and then it all gets filtered off again, and what isn't needed is disposed of. Gotta admit, kind of proud of this farm. And now we know what we've done with our blocks, it's time to show you guys how I get my blocks. We've already seen the wood farm, the saplings come from wandering traders, but also I play with structures, so we do have the ability to get them from the villages. Down here is my villagers. This is where we get our redstone and also our lapis to be able to do some trading and obviously to do enchanting and also for our redstone. This is where we get our diamond tools. Obviously we just trade with these guys all the way up to diamond and we are looking absolutely bloody amazing. Without these guys, this world would be an absolute pain. But if I open up my end chest and I show you my valuables, we do actually have some diamonds. The way that we get these diamonds is basically we do a load of end busting. We just go to the end cities and we steal it from their chests. Ooh. I trade leather with these guys, which we gather from the other stuff, and we get a load of cheap emeralds. That's how the emeralds arrive. All of our books come from these villagers, and obviously, you know, typical Minecraft villager stuff. Now we head into the main workforce of where all of our farms are. This is my mob farm, which is our centerpiece. What happens is there's some layers in there that water flush the mobs down. Everything but creepers kind of come down and into this chamber. Creepers fall down into here, and as you can see, one is perfectly being disposed of right now. And then our gunpowder ends up being collected at the bottom. Lovely. Everything else comes along here, and as you can hear, the zombies are being turned into drowns. This is the only way for us to get any copper, because obviously there's no oceans, there is no other biomes, so we have to make our own copper ingots. It's not the most effective thing in the world, but it does bloody work. We also have our kelp farm. This one's automated. If I'm honest, it's not really doing much. This one is so much better, which I made with a little bit of redstone. All you do is you fill these dispensers with a bit of bone meal, fire this clock off, it all goes brrr, and you get loads and loads of kelp, and then you smelt it all down, you get dried kelp, you then can make more kelp blocks, and you go around in circles, and eventually you make a little bit of a profit, which I can then use to run my actual auto smelter. This is our super smelter, and this is where we basically smelt everything down. We mine gold, we get smelted. We want sand and glass, this is what's over here. We smelt it all down, and we get our glass, we get our everything. We also have ourselves a little bit of a cactus farm. We don't really use it, if I'm honest. I got it for green dye, because eventually we are going to have to do some green wooling around places to add a bit of texture, but we haven't got to that stage yet, so it's still sat there ready to go. This is our stone farm, and if I'm honest, this is our most used farm, because you stand there, you break a bit of this, and everything is beautiful. It works simply by the water being on the outside, as you can see, and lava being above it. That way we get stone and not cobble. So if I want cobble, I just use my fortune pickaxe, like that, and we get a bit of cobble. If I want stone, all I use is my silk touch pickaxe, and obviously we get a bit of stone. Perfect. Above it, we have our basalt generator. This gives us, obviously, basalt. It works the exact same way. This has a little bit more loss because you have to have a block under it, but it still works lovely. We also have our moss farm, where we get an insane amount of moss every so often, but if I'm honest, I just place one piece and then just spam moss everywhere. That's probably easier, if I'm honest. Unnecessary redstone over there with an EFO hopper clock, and obviously we can flood things using this. Lovely. It's yeah, this is a pain. I can't remember how to actually make one, so I made this. And again, I refuse to watch tutorials. This is Impulse's carrot farm. If I'm honest, I've neglected this for a while, so let's see what this actually looks like. I'm hoping we've actually got a bit of carrot. Yeah. Oh, that's a lot of carrots. Are these full? Okay, they're even getting full. Yeah, I should probably deal with that. The reason for the carrots is so I can get some easy emeralds. All I do is I grab the carrots, come here, and then bosh. Trade. everything's beautiful. One of the farms that took us the longest to get was actually this Dripstone Farm, because the only way for us to even get dripstone is actually from the Wandering Trader. And if I'm honest, that guy, he's not the most well-traveled. This guy turns up probably once every 100 days in this world. Yeah, we still haven't got birch, and this is a bloody disgrace, I tell you. I want more birch. I just need birch. I just want birch. That's all I want. I'm going mad, by the way. I just want birch. It's been 1,000 days, and I don't have birch. It's the greatest wood in Minecraft. Very disappointed. Anyway, we carry on. Over here, we have our sheep. This is our wool farm. We just produce white wool because obviously the tips of the mountain, we can't get snow. So to make snow, we have to make it out of wool, which I got to admit is a real pain. So that's constantly running and we're building up quite nicely. Further down again, we have our mud farm. Place a bit of dirt right here. Boom, it becomes mud. You punch it, you place another one. You punch it, you place another one. You get the point. It's infinite. It carries on. We get loads of bloody mud. Over here, we have our sugarcane farm. And as you can see, it works quite nicely. We have quite a bit of sugarcane ready to go. All it is a flying machine that goes backwards and forwards. It breaks it all. It collects it all. It's bloody lovely. With the mud, what we've updated very recently is our clay farm. Put a dripstone underneath a dripstone block. You place your mud on top and eventually it becomes clay. I then collect the clay, chuck it in here. Beautiful. Now, you might be wondering, why do I want clay? Basically, if I smelt it, I can get terracotta. And then I can make it whatever the hell I want it to be, as I can't get terracotta any other way. We have a chicken egg farm because what we are eventually going to do is take all of these eggs over into the end, back to where we were, underneath the end portal, and then basically we can get ourselves a load of wither roses that come from the wither. And that is basically the world. I've been streaming the entire thing over on Twitch, TikTok, and YouTube at 8 PM UK time pretty much every single day, apart from, well, Tuesdays and Sundays. All right, I like to take a day off. Have a great one. I've been RipMonts. You guys are awesome. Peace out.